right, guys. It's been a couple days now. Had time to process everything that went down this weekend.
Not everything.
Not everything.
There's a whole lot I can't process.
Yeah. We know that it happened.
Every morning I check. And every morning since Sunday I've checked, and it did happen.
Yeah. The initial response was you were kind of done with it. You know, the 55 was no more. That might be
everybody's response, is it? I don't know. This is the first time this has happened to me. So is that everybody's initial response? No, I'm not gonna build, because I've heard a lot of people when they crash, they always say they're done.
Yeah.
And then like a month later they start rebuilding.
Yeah.
So maybe that's everybody's response. I don't know. I've never lost something that I cared about so much. A vehicle, you know, that I cared about so much. So of course I was like, no, I'm done. Why would I rebuild that car? Look at it. And I'm damn sure not. If we get this thing apart and we realize that the body's twisted or something to where we can't fix it, I'm not going to build another one.
Yeah.
You know, and I've had even high school friends texting me talking about, you've got to rebuild it, man. That's your unicorn. And it is. But this is my unicorn, not another 55.
This one specifically.
This one is my unicorn. I drove this. I've had this thing for 15 years. We used to put Aiden in the back seat of this thing when he was a kid in his car seat, strapped down, you know, like you're supposed to do and everything.
Yeah.
And we would drive this thing around, you know. Like, I don't know, I haven't really talked to Aiden about it, but I bet he has memories of riding around in this car when he was little. Like, I don't want another car. I want this one.
You actually drove this car when it was stock. Like, it wasn't always a race car.
Whenever I got it, it was bone stock.
So, but the plan is, if it is possible, this car will be rebuilt. That's the plan.
This car, yes. And now, it's different, you know. We put these quarter panels on it when we got it. So if we got to put a quarter panel on it, obviously we got to put a whole front clip on it. Obviously we got to put that door on it over there and a quarter panel. This side actually don't look bad. So whenever I walk into the shop, we should have turned this thing around the opposite way to where I saw this side and I'd look at it and go, oh, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But instead I see all this. So I'm not really ready to start on it yet because we don't have time. I wish that we had 3 weeks of nothing else to do except this, but we don't. So I'm gonna at least hook onto it with a dually, get it over here somehow, lift it off because it's not a roller, and then I'm at least get the sheet metal off of it to where, and then I can at least look at it if there's no front end on it, and I can go, okay, we're working on it. Mm-hmm. I don't want to see it in this sad state that it's in right now. And then we'll have a better idea once we get the front end off and we get that door off, because the one thing that I'm concerned with is the body over there. But at the end of the day, it is a race car. I don't care if we beat it back out. Right. As long as the fender bolts on straight and from the outside of the car you can't tell, I'm cool with it. And I do believe that it's gonna be fine because, and this right here tells me it's gonna be fine. Like, you can see how hard it hit because it came back.
Dang.
It came back and beat all this up. But it's a 55 Chevy, you know?
Weight is sign of reliability.
Yes, that's right. So this right here tells me the car's not twisted. Everything is fine up here. All the gaps still look, it's tough to say that they look good. They look the same. Yeah. All the gaps look the same. Didn't even pop.
That's real glass. I forgot those are real glass.
I glued this glass in too. So this is just glued on here. There's nothing
so it
that
doesn't
holds
really
it.
flex where it could pop out or nothing.
No, so none of this has flexed.
Yeah, the cage did its job.
The cage did its job. None of this has flexed. You can see in the corners where whenever I push this on the glass into it, like right here, you can see it's just weather stripping, adhesive, windshield adhesive. So if this thing twisted too much, it would have broke those or popped those out. But it didn't, you know. You can see that I even put these in. Ooh, look. Oh. I mean, yeah, no, hey, it's coming out, but it's got to come out anyways, because we'll cut this right here, and we'll probably cut this right here to put this quarter glass on, or he'll just come in here like this if this is straight. But of course, we can't open this. Oh yeah, no, it's coming off. Okay, I'm not gonna do that yet. I say that and I keep on doing it. Well, I was on its way coming out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, but what do you expect?
Yeah, I mean,
like this right here is what amazes me, is how it didn't roll. This, so Aaron said, what hit up here though? The ground.
The ground.
The
earth.
track. The track hit right here. That's how close this thing was to rolling. All of this slid on its side and then somehow didn't roll over. Like, we wouldn't even be having this conversation right now. The conversation we'd be having right now is, well, let's get the motor out of it and
what
hope
are we
everything's
putting
okay.
this in?
And hope everything is okay. And then let's shoehorn this thing in into Aiden Chevelle.
Yep.
This right here is what I'm concerned with. See how this pushed in?
Mm-hmm.
It obviously popped this window out right here, which is Lexan. But this right here, and it can be pulled out.
Can it be?
I mean, but it's a 55 Chevy. It's hard.
Yeah.
Like, this thing is going to have to be strapped to the ground, kind of like the dyno deal, and then a frame machine or something to pull it out. Or we have strapped stuff to trucks and hit them real hard, you know?
Just get a run at it, bang.
We've strapped things to trees before and then get a run at it with your truck and pulling things out. But normally that's a bumper.
Yeah.
You know, that's not something like this. This is going to have to be a little more finessed out, because we don't want to pull it too far.
Yeah.
Because this right here is what holds the fender on. This whole piece right here. So, I mean, even if we have to cut this out and weld in a new piece, look at it. See where it split the dash?
Yeah.
Then, you know, that's part of it. But that is still my car whenever we get done.
Yes.
In my opinion, man, if the roof and the body of the car is the same, that's still my car.
Yep.
You know? So, I don't really know how we're going to do this. We'll back up to the lift. Obviously, the lift won't go under this, so we may just lift it right here, lift it up, and then drive out from underneath it and let the back tires roll off the trailer. Like, even if it's a disaster, it ain't gonna hurt nothing.
Yeah.
So we'll get all that off and then figure. I've never seen anything like this in my life.
It broke the brake rotor.
So
Heavy.
That's as heavy as what one of our race rotors are.
Yeah.
So you can kind of tell that this thing, it was more street than it was. Got a lot of miles on that brake too. Obviously, we need to change the brake pads at some point. So whenever I first built this car 13 years ago or whatever, we were limited on what we could get for the 55 Chevys. What is it? Autobahn or something, right?
Autofab.
Autofab is who made the upper and lower control arms. And basically, Willwood was the only person that made a street brake kit for this deal. So it was a dual rotor deal.
What does it smell like?
Shock oil, maybe?
There was shock oil everywhere. Yeah.
Shock oil or brake? So, yeah. So there's nothing left of any of the front end. Like, I'm not even sure how the wheels are holding on, because the upper and lower control arms on all four of them are broken off.
Yes. It broke everything.
So we got somebody with some straps. I know that. I don't know who strapped this.
The tow truck guy.
The tow truck guy and everybody that was out there was really cool, man, because they did everything that they could to, and they were easy on it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And you could tell that they was trying to be easy on it. And at that point, I was, fuck it, man. Yeah. You know? Just put it on the trailer, however you
I'm tired of fucking with
you
this.
ain't gonna hurt it no more,
Yeah.
you know? But, man, they were good. They could tell that, you know, that it was a loved car, and they didn't want to hurt anything more than what it is.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Man, I kind of looked it over a little bit. I'm pretty amazed at what all it bent under here. Like both the motor plates,
Yeah.
The blower pulley got into the blower at some point.
Yep, right here. Shaved this down a little bit.
Like it's split right here somehow. See that big gap? So we'll definitely need to send a blower back to Pro Charger.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of the least of what's going on here, but
we'll get the motor out and I understand a little bit now about how when people rebuild, they do everything better the second time, because we've already found a few things that we want to do different.
For sure.
We're going to send the heads off and have them ported. There's just, you know, multiple things that we're going to do different this time. But Dad better hurry up and heal up. He got a lot of work to do on this deal.
I just want to point out, my welds didn't break on that aluminum.
No,
like it ran into that alternator.
Yep.
And
which
just
I put on there.
Yeah, I mean, everything we did held up.
Yep.
So I guess we'll get this thing hooked up to the trailer, back it over here into the stall, and you can watch the circus of us unloading the 55. Start to rebuild it.
Not hitting nothing, right?
Nope, not yet. Shoo, the dismount's gonna be tricky.
Nah. Oh, sorry. Hang on. Can't see anything. Is she gonna hit anything?
How about we lower the lift a little?
Okay. How does that high to get past there?
Yeah.
Man, something's got to go wrong, right? Because you'd think we've done this.
I think the worst of it's past. There's that water leak. All right.
You're off. Okay. I say we just get the deals, set it down on it, then we can just pull the car forward. And then that's it. Pull the car forward and then put it on the lift. You know, the right way.
Yeah. That was painless.
It's a little less painful than the car.
Yeah.
So I was gonna wait and let Dad come over, look at the car. We were gonna talk about it and all that, but there's no sense in that. Like, why would I want him to look at the car that he knows he's responsible for? You know, he already feels bad enough. I don't want him to feel any worse. So maybe by the time he actually comes over, by the time he gets out of bed and he's feeling better, he comes over, I've already got the car stripped down, you know? He's gonna see the pile of parts. He's gonna know everything he's gotta fix. He's gonna know he's gotta put a quarter panel on it. He's gonna know he's gotta repaint everything, you know? So there's no sense in that. I mean, you see everybody coming in and looking at their car and everything is, oh, it's the first time I've seen it. What for? It's always sad. You know,
for sure.
I don't know. I've said it a couple of times. It is just a car. Trust me, that's tough to say.
Yeah.
What's our favorite baseball movie, honey? Not our favorite baseball movie, but the one where it's got Jimmy Fallon in it, where she's like, "You said it was just a game." He goes, "Clearly, it's not just a game, or I wouldn't be so upset." That's what I'm talking. That's what I feel like here.
Fever pitch.
Fever, something fever. Yes, that one. So, I mean, it's easy to say it's just a car.
Yeah.
Clearly, it's not just a car. Otherwise, I wouldn't feel this bad inside.
Right.
You know? So.
Well, Ellen said, you know, people are the most important, but our heart hurts from the memories and the dreams too. That sounds good.
Our heart hurts from the memories and the dreams.
Yeah, the memories you have of the car and the dreams you had for the car. You know, it's just all. No, you don't get it. Never mind. Just stick with your movie quotes.
I like movie quotes better.
Okay.
I mean, that's just kind of where I'm at with it right now. Clearly, it's not just a car.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it wouldn't hurt so bad. But that's the good thing about metal. You can weld it, you can cut it,
Shape
you
it.
can shape it, you can put it back together, and that's what we'll do. You know, it was a long process to get where we were at with it. It's gonna be a long process to get back where we want to be.
For sure. Because we ain't going back the same.
No.
Like,
but it just sucks that we don't even really know where we were with it. We think it was going to be fast.
it seemed like it.
I bet Dad thinks it's fast.
It felt like a rocket ship. It was going ludicrous speed.
I think it was a goddamn rocket. I mean, he foot braked this deal.
Yeah.
Let's let off a trans brake on this deal.
It looked like it did on the lift here a second ago.
Yeah. So, you know, there's I don't see any sense in letting him look at it before we start tearing it down. That's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
He's just going to look at it and feel worse than what he already does. You can't... I can't put it into words how upset I am about this, but I also can't put into words how much my dad has done for me over the years.
For sure.
You know, so at some point, you got to...
Yeah.
You know, I really don't even know where to start except for one side at a time. Like I'm gonna start with this one right here.
That
this
one
is
right
my
there.
guy. I'm gonna start with this one. I'm gonna raise it up. I'll get the two underneath, and it looks like Dad already got all these off for me. So
Such a helpful guy.
yeah. So I mean, the harness is gonna have to be redone anyways, right?
Yeah, it's all good.
I don't want to cut it if we don't have to, but let me see. This headlight right here is still good.
I mean, this headlight is full blown still good.
I know. We should take that with us tomorrow and put it in the OG.
I think the headlights for the OG will actually be here tomorrow.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We still can't put them in on race night.
No. They need time to dry, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, here I am getting occupied by other things. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that fender off, and then we'll
Work our way
just
around.
work our way around, I guess. It just wadded all this up, but
Well, that's supposed to wad up when you hit.
well, it did.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
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 So, front clips off, blowers off, radiators out, and Richard's seeing it for the first time.
Yeah, and like we said, we're gonna do a few things different to it this time. Like, whenever we built this car the first time a long time ago, there was limited options for a 55. We're probably just gonna scavenge on a Nova front clip on this deal, and then I can put my A-arms from the new Nova that we front half the new Nova, so now it's a strut front end, but I still have all my TRZ A-arms, upper and lower control arms, all that stuff. And if we do it that way, one thing that I really never have liked about this car is the rear steer. The steering is in the rear. Makes it hard to build headers. It makes it, I don't build the headers, but
it looked hard.
It makes it hard to do all that stuff. If we do it again, we can push the motor back just a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and pull the heads off the motor, send them and have them ported. Just a few little things that we didn't do the first time that we want to do this time. Make this thing a little faster.
Yeah. It looked like it was lacking a little bit.
Yeah. So, I don't think it's going to be that bad. Like I said, that right there is the worst looking part, and I think that Dad can take this to the frame machine and as long as this is straight and the hinges that hold the door on are straight, that's all that matters. I don't care if this is dented up behind the frame, behind the fender.
Cut that shit out of there.
But this is wadded up pretty good. So, I don't know.
How you feeling?
That,
How am I feeling?
Yeah.
I've just got one spot that hurts pretty bad.
Yeah.
it's only been like 4 days, so.
It feels like a rib or something's broke, but they said it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, start cutting.
Yep. Well,
Cutting, beating, banging.
Basically, we're going to take those, put it on the frame about where it's at right now, and then push this thing back off the lift where we can open this door, and then we're going to pull the door off. And then anytime you want to come over and start cutting.
Well, I'd like to get this to the frame machine first.
Well,
this.
I'm going to.
And that post right there.
Yeah, the post it is a little bit. I can see it in the door frame. You can see it just a little bit right here. And then it's crinkled just a little bit right there. I think this whole piece needs to come out just a little bit, and it looks like it's, but as soon as Phantom got inside and hit the door handle, it opened right up. So I can't obviously get to the door hinges right now with it on the lift. So at some point we may just end up getting the motor and transmission out of it here and then loading it back up and taking it out to the frame machine. But we're still gonna have to figure out some sort of dolly system for it. Like, I don't know. Cause right here I can back the trailer underneath it.
Oh yeah.
And then drop it on the trailer. But I don't know how we'll get it off out there.
Tractor.
Maybe attach to the front end and just pull it because the wheels will roll in the back. So, anyway, so we got some work to do, but we gotta fix it. It's my unicorn.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we gotta.
We'll send the Pro Charger off. It is pretty wobbly on there. This bracket right here is definitely bent. Other than that, I'm sure it's fine. Still moving air. It moving a lot of air the other day. Obviously.
Yes.
Even though it was only 11 pounds.
It was a solid 11 pounds.
It was a strong ass 11 pounds. So, tires still holding air. Probably still run them. But the majority of everything is good, and whenever we put this thing back together, it'll be lighter, it'll be stronger, it'll be faster. So,
stronger, louder, faster.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, there's sure some things we can do now that we should have done before.
Sure, it'll have a better paint job.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Guess we'll figure out how to get this thing off the lift.
not right now. I'll pull the motor out of it the way it sits right now, and then yes.
Okay, so there you seen Shawn got the 55 tore down. It's pretty rough. So at this point, we're just kind of waiting on some parts to come in. So mainly a door. Richard said he needs a door so that he can start straightening pillars and I don't know, I'm not a body guy, but he said he needs a door. So that's the first thing we've got on the way from Dan Chuck. As soon as it comes in, we'll get this thing out there to Richard and let him start the rebuild. So like you saw, pretty rough. All the motor and stuff is over here. Got the Rossler sitting on the ground, the intake with the ever elusive intercooler, the 416. We're going to pull the heads, have them ported, send the motor over to McDougal, let him check it all out, make sure it's all good. So that's that for now. As soon as we have some updates on it, you know that we will update you. So until next time, we'll see y'all later.